So these AI assistants are about to take over the workforce at a pace that is frankly bonkers. But if you've got the chops to build these things, you could find yourself out in front leading the charge in this roller coaster of an economy. Here's the deal, though. You don't need to be a tech wizard in order to whip up a handy AI sidekick for yourself or for one of your clients. If you can pick up a few skills with these low-code or no-code tools, you can find yourself getting pulled into an AI career that is booming like a firecracker. I'm completely jazzed to present to you the ABCs of building and testing your own custom chatbots. We're going to dive in and get our hands dirty with a down-to-earth framework that's going to have you designing, refining, eyeballing key metrics, and blending different tools together like a pro. We are all in this together, and I definitely want to give you a leg up in this dog-eat-dog job market. So buckle up. We are about to dive into a mother of a guide for building and testing custom chatbots. All right, so here we go. The first step of creating your AI assistant is identifying the audience, the purpose, and the goals of this AI assistant. I got a quote here from Charles Kettering of General Motors, and he says, "A problem clearly defined is half solved." And I think that going into this with a good plan of what you're trying to achieve is going to help you immensely in the long run. You want to think about, is this an external tool for prospective customers, or is this for current customers? Is this an internal tool for training and onboarding, or is it to generate some content or generate some code? Is it for decision-making purposes? These are some general big buckets. You want to get more and more focused on exactly what problem you want this AI chatbot, this AI assistant to solve, and you want to figure out what are the user expectations and what are their pain points. Where are they going to be coming at this? At what point in their process are they going to be coming at this? Is this going to be their first experience with you? Are they going to be very frustrated at this point, or are they just going to be doing their job internally somehow? All of this makes sense to think about and map out at the very beginning. You want to think about what goals should you be giving this chatbot. How are you going to know if it's successful or not? So some questions to ask in addition to what is the goal of the chatbot. Thinking about, why is that the goal? Is that the correct goal? How can we identify maybe a better goal, or maybe a more nuanced goal that you want to focus on? What's the current solution? What's happening now? Why is that a problem? And how is the chatbot going to make these things better? Just thinking through all this before you dive in is going to help you make sure that you're achieving whatever you're hoping to achieve with this assistant. And now I want to get into the tech stack. This is everybody's favorite thing to talk about. It's mine as well. But the first thing when you're trying to decide the tech stack, where are people going to be accessing this? Can you go where they are rather than having to drag them to you? So if this is an external tool, maybe it's on a website, maybe it's social media, maybe it's in an app. If it's an internal tool, maybe it's on Slack, maybe it's on Teams, maybe it's in Discord. Think about the easiest place to position this tool for maximum usage, and that's going to inform what tool you use to build it. So I've listed a few here. These are all no-code platforms. A lot of them are very flexible and can be used in a lot of different situations. Chatfuel is good for any sort of Facebook Messenger bots you might want to use. It's also good for e-commerce. Landbot.io, really good integrations with MailChimp and Google Sheets and Slack if that's your use case. ManyChat, also an e-commerce integration. And TARS is pretty good for also lead generation. If this is going to be an external tool that you're going to be using to generate leads to prospective customers, that might be one you want to check out. Tidio Chatbot Editor. This is interesting. There's a lot of focus on conversations with this one. Mobile Monkey has a lot of different use cases there. It's sort of, embedded in omni-channel marketing. So web chat, live chat, SMS, Facebook Messenger. Botsify, user-friendly platform, and FlowXO can integrate in a lot of different ways. These are some that have been pretty powerful in the past. Now are some of the up-and-coming platforms. These are the ones that I'm really focusing on currently. BotPress is an open source tool. If you think of it kind of like WordPress, very, very customizable. A lot of uses for that. that. Custom GPT has been an interesting tool I've done some videos about. This is a way to use GPT-4 to access your different custom knowledge bases. This could be a powerful part of your tech stack. Ingest AI is also similar to custom GPT. It is a little less user-friendly, a little bit more customizable, so that can be interesting for some maybe advanced AI assistants. And Stack AI is another tool that is being used for these more advanced AI chatbot integrations. So those are some that I'm taking a deeper dive into in future videos. Integrations is the next step. So once you kind of figured out the main chatbot, or maybe it's a combination of a few of those that I just mentioned, you want to think about, what type of integrations can you use. Zapier is the current king of these integrations. It has many different ways that you can use the chatbot to actually get things done, whether that's adding a record to a sheet, adding a name to a CRM. Zapier is going to help you do all of that and is a powerful tool to know. There's also another competitor to Zapier called Make, used to be called Integromat. There's a lot of integrations that software does as well. So now we're getting into, past the tech stack. We've kind of got a feel for the tools that we want to use. We want to start designing the conversational flow and then writing the script. So figuring out the flow based on the bot's purpose. What's the greeting? What is the intent? Identification. So figuring out what does the user want? What are our responses going to be? How are we going to handle errors? And how are we going to wrap up these conversations? There's linear and nonlinear flows that you want to think about. Is this going to be a direct, what parts of the conversation are going to be a direct A, B, C, and what are going to kind of meander and be more conversational? You want to watch out for dead ends. I think it's fairly easy to map some of these out, but it's pretty hard to catch all of them when you're first designing the conversational flow. Once you kind of have a feel for that, you want to get into the script writing and, using the exact words that your customer use, thinking about, conversations, maybe recording a conversation of two humans working this out so you can get the correct vocabulary that is most natural. That's going to really help with the usage of the bot. There's a pretty popular hybrid tech stack that I want to mention, which is a combination of the bot press for these rule-based, sort of these linear yes, no, multiple choice parts of the conversation, and then adding in Stack AI for the more AI-focused parts of the conversation where it needs to be sort of open-ended and the chatbot needs to kind of be able to think and reply and perhaps even access one of your knowledge bases, something like that. So I heard about this first from Liam Otley, so shout out to him. I know a lot of people are talking about it, and it is a combo that I'm looking to explore myself. Once you've built something basic, you want to start testing it. Unit testing is testing kind of each little segment of the chatbot. Integration testing, making sure that those integrations are working, that if it should be creating something in Excel, it's doing it. Then you're getting into conversational testing. So is there any way you can improve the script or improve the flow of the conversation? User acceptance testing, so getting it out there in front of real people who weren't involved in building this AI assistant. You're always going to learn quite a lot at that stage, so don't worry, have a thick skin. It will all be okay. It is natural and necessary to hear some harsh criticisms before you get something that's working great. Security testing is very important, making sure that it's very hard for people to use the chatbot for malicious purposes. Obviously, you can think of ways that can go sideways. Regression testing, want to make sure that any improvements, any changes that you made are actually improving the chatbot or the AI assistant rather than making it worse. So that gets us right into our final phase here of monitoring and iterating. So thinking about the different KPIs, some of the goals, the SMART goals we talked about at the top of this presentation. Is it reaching those goals? What is the user feedback? Continuously, are you getting problems in certain areas? Analyzing the conversation logs. Most of these tools, they should have some kick out some reports that you can see if there's any people hitting snags in places over and over again. Thinking about A/B testing, potentially rolling out a new version while the old version is still in play. Especially if you're doing regular updates or you're training the chatbot. There's so many different tools are coming out onto the market, and OpenAI keeps improving their AI. So you want to make sure that the bot is getting better and better. A/B testing is a way to do that, and you can always roll things back if you see it going in the wrong direction. There's automated testing tools. There are bots, there are assistants out there that can test your bots. So you might want to look into those. Thinking about setting up alerts. There's different ways if the bot goes down or if there's an increase in errors in a certain area, that those would kick off an alert that you can hop in and check it out. So I hope you got a lot out of this. Check out my Patreon. I do have a PDF cheat sheet version of this with a bunch more resources and links if this is something you're really interested in. That's available for just a few bucks there. There's also some Google Collabs, which is a growing library of helpful code that can help you improve the efficiency of your business. And there's a whole quick start guide on how to use Google Collabs in conjunction with AI that I think you might find pretty useful. There's also some one-on-one coaching and consulting options in there. I'd love to chat with you. If there's something I can help with, please reach out. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking, subscribing, commenting. I love hearing from you, and that's super helpful as I'm trying to get this channel off the ground. So with that, I will let you go, and I'll see you in the next video.